I believe that Cardano is not only going to start dominating the crypto ecosystem, it's going to start having a real world impact in a hurry. We just had Cardano Summit 2021, and there was a few major announcements that are going to have major impacts down the line that were met with a more or less tepid reception, and I believe that's because speculators don't quite understand the big picture, and it's exactly what I speculated on a few months ago. What do the governments of Ethiopia, Nigeria, and enterprises like Boost Mobile and Dish Network all have in common? They're all interested in a Prism, the Cardano blockchain, and an immutable digital identity. Every single one of them. Dish Network plans to utilize Cardano's unique digital identity to handle things like payments, reward tracking, probably payment history down the line here. When you look at Boost Mobile, what is the most logical use case for a crypto asset through Boost Mobile? A digital wallet, a secure digital wallet. Cell phones have done an okay job through Samsung Pay or Google Pay or Apple Pay, but realistically all you're doing is attaching the physical asset of a debit card or a credit card to a digital wallet, and all the transactions are still having to be processed through ACH and SWIFT. And then some companies want to go ahead and front run that, so they put up their money to get the transactions to happen instantaneously, and then those entities repay them at a later date. PayPal. Not to mention probably also utilizing their own app stores to more or less launch the decentralized apps for Cardano. We recently heard that Meld, a project in the Cardano ecosystem, has just secured a deal with, what is it called? Tonga? It's the biggest mobile carrier in Nigeria. And why that might not sound like a big deal, Nigeria, you have to keep in mind that it's the third largest economy in all of Africa, some 9 million residents. It's one of the largest countries in Africa too. And their economy isn't exactly a pauper compared to many other countries in the world. And I would speculate that they're going to want to do something very similar to what Boost Mobile's doing, having a decentralized app store, having a payment processing system right there on the phone where you can transfer money anywhere in the country instantaneously. Everything's processed on the blockchain, and then you have an immutable digital identity attached to that wallet, because you know they're going to get their taxes. I think people are really underestimating how big of a deal digital identifiers are going to be. In fact, I actually plan to sell used cars through the Cardano ecosystem just as soon as I can attach a digital identity to a non-fungible token to sell on a marketplace. Now, I'm going to have to find some notary who would like to work with me to process all the title transfers, but in general, it's doable. Not only that, with the execution of smart contracts, I will be able to set aside taxes that need to get paid, fees that need to get paid to the state automatically through the transaction without me ever having to interact with it. I've long stated that Cardano's biggest strength is not only their digital identifier, but the language in which it's written, Haskell. It's something that can interface with legacy bank systems. We've already heard talks about Cardano opening crypto banks in some crypto-friendly countries, and that's going to be a huge deal. An easy fiat on and off ramp. But why do I believe it's just Cardano? Why wouldn't I say the same thing about Ethereum? And the answer is pretty simple. Cardano, though mostly decentralized, still has a front-facing company attached to it, IOHK and Charles Hoskinson. They can make deals on behalf of the ecosystem that Ethereum can't. Ethereum has no treasury. It has no ability to develop further on its project without the community funding it directly. Cardano doesn't have this problem. Every time a transaction fee is processed, the Cardano treasury gets a portion of that. It means it's damn near unlimited funding as far as research, development, and continued forking of the network. Ethereum doesn't currently have a way to do digital identities, and even if they do create one, they are still years behind in the game because they are going to have to do a lot of work to secure the kind of deals that Cardano already has access to. Not to mention that Solidity is not compatible with legacy financial systems, which means any banking system attached to Ethereum is going to have to be its own separate entity and then find a way to interact with the legacy financial system. I actually think this is a masterstroke on Cardano's part. I don't really see how anyone can actually compete while they're worried about NFTs and, little JPEGs that have been algorithmically generated on other networks and other speculative assets. Cardano is making actual inroads with governments around the world. I would not be surprised to hear something coming out of South America, and much like a game of dominoes, it only takes one tip for the whole thing to begin to cascade. You get a few countries on board and this system works out real well, it will spread, and it will spread quickly. And once you have governments acknowledging immutable digital identifiers, the world will change very rapidly at that point. So that's my thoughts on the subject. Let me know what you think.